All right, so let's jump right in. How does a real estate company not just, survive, but absolutely explode with growth when the whole market is hitting the brakes? Well, today we're digging into the Real Brokerage's frankly stunning 2025 performance to figure out exactly how they pulled it off.
We're going to break this down into 5 key parts. We'll start with just how much they beat the market. Then we'll look at the jaw-dropping numbers behind that growth. After that, we'll get into their secret sauce, what I'm calling their tech and talent edge. We'll also take a really honest look at their profits and their problems. And finally, we'll look ahead to see what might be next for this company.
So, first things first, to really get what Real accomplished, you have to understand the world they were living in. And let's just say 2025 was not exactly a banner year for the housing market. It was tough out there. I mean, don't just take my word for it. The company's own CEO, Tamir Poleg, basically said, look, these results would be good anytime, but they're especially wild given how tepid the market was. He was pointing out that everywhere you looked, transaction volumes were tight. Everybody was feeling that squeeze.
Okay, and this is where it gets crazy. Just look at the difference here. The entire industry, existing home sales crept up by a measly 1%. 1. Meanwhile, Real Brokerage's closed transactions skyrocketed by 38%. I mean, they weren't just swimming against the tide, they were on a speedboat flying right past everyone else.
So now let's put some real hard numbers to this story. Because honestly, the financials themselves paint a pretty incredible picture of just how explosive this growth actually was. Let's start with the big one, the headline number, top line revenue. For the whole year, the company pulled in an incredible $2 billion. That is a massive, massive figure for any brokerage, especially in a slow market. And that $2 billion number wasn't some kind of fluke. It was a 56% jump from the year before. I mean, that's not just growth anymore. That's what you call hypergrowth.
So you gotta ask, right? What's fueling this engine? Well, a huge piece of the puzzle is their agent count. It's just been growing at a crazy pace. They were adding agents left and right through 2025. And by early 2026, they had already blown past 33,000. And this table right here really shows you how consistent they were. I mean, just look at it. Revenue up 56%, the number of transactions up 54%, and the total value of those sales up 53%. See, it's not just one metric looking good. It's the entire business just firing on all cylinders. Okay, so this leads us to the big question, right? The $2 billion question. How? How are they doing this? How are they seemingly defying the laws of market physics? Well, the answer isn't just one single thing. It's really a powerful strategy built on 2 pillars that work together to give them this serious edge. And here they are. It's pretty straightforward. Number 1, they are masters at attracting top-tier agents. And number 2, they give that talent some really powerful, custom-built tech that makes them better at their jobs. It's this 1-2 punch that's working so well. And when we talk talent, we're not just talking about adding bodies. No, they're attracting giants. We're talking about huge teams like the Posset Group, a team that does over $1 billion in sales a year. When a team like that joins you, it sends a massive signal to the rest of the industry, and it just creates this incredible recruiting momentum. So what's the draw for these top agents? Well, a big part of it is the tech, and the star of the show is their own AI assistant called Leo CoPilot. You can think of it like a smart sidekick that's designed specifically to make an agent's day smoother and more productive. And listen, this isn't just some gimmick they put on a slide. Since they launched it, their agents have used Leo over 700,000 times. It's become, as the company puts it, an essential part of their daily workflow. They're actually using it a lot. And this quote from the COO, Jenna Rosenblatt, she really nails the strategy here. The tech isn't just about making agents happy. It's about building a fundamentally more efficient business. It means they can handle way more deals without having to hire a bunch more support staff. That right there is the key to scaling your business without your costs going through the roof. But of course, growth like this rarely comes without a few bumps in the road, and it's super important to look past just the big revenue numbers. So let's get a more balanced view by looking at the company's profitability and some of the headwinds they're up against. Now, while the company wasn't profitable for the year, what this chart shows is pretty dramatic progress. They slashed their annual net loss from over $26 million all the way down to just $8 million. That's a nearly 70% improvement. It's a huge, huge step in the right direction.
But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Just like basically everyone else in real estate, they're navigating all these commission lawsuits that are trying to rewrite the rules of the industry. And on top of that, their own CFO has already warned that 2026 got off to a bit of a slow start, partly because of some bad weather disrupting sales. All right, so let's move into our last section. What's next for real? Let's check out their financial health and what the road ahead might look like. If you look at their balance sheet, it tells a really powerful story. They finished the year with almost $50 million in cash and investments. And maybe even more important, zero debt. That is a fantastic position to be in. It gives them a ton of flexibility to keep investing in their own growth.
And check out this number because this one is super important. They actually generated nearly $66 million in cash just from their day-to-day business operations. That means their core business is healthy. It's a cash-generating machine that can actually fund its own expansion. That is the dream scenario for a growth company.
Which really brings us to this final question. When you see a company have this much success in such a tough market, you have to wonder, is this the future? Is this model, this combo of attracting the best agents and arming them with smarter tech, is this the new blueprint for how you build a real estate brokerage? Honestly, only time is going to tell, but it's a fascinating question to think about.